I thought I told you time and time again, this shit won't stop. I bag it show by show, I'm trying to triple and double the pot.
Hope you guys are locked in. For day 3, baby! We're in. Now, what is the industry I'm talking about? It's called high ticket sales, right? And we're going to explain everything. How this industry works. You guys are over there, just realized. But I might look in here just because it's easier for me. Pretty much, the way that this industry works is there are coaches, course creators, consultants, agency owners, people like these guys. These guys all sell a high ticket service. What do I mean by high ticket? It means they're selling 5K to 20K plus offers, right? And they are getting all of this attention with content, with ads, with communities. And in essence, all that they do is they provide a specific service for their clients. Now, naturally, the bigger the service that you do for your clients, the more you're going to charge. So we're going to talk about this in another episode, different kind of industries you can work in within high ticket sales. But to keep it simple today, we're going to talk about like the ones that help you make money, right? They help people make money, whether they're helping businesses hit $1 million a month, which I'll show you guys soon, whether it is helping someone improve their marketing skills, whatever it is, or helping someone take their business from 10K a month to 100K a month, right? There's different businesses, they charge different prices, but typically no one should be charging less than 5K. And some go all the way up to higher than 20K. But typically, like, this is the average. This is what we're looking at typically for the industry. So, like I said, coaches, course creators, consultants, agency owners, they're all making content, right? They're making content to their ideal client who's watching, who is then going to look at their page, look at what they do, and because they aren't just doing their content is thought out, right? Their content is made with the intention of attracting the person that they want to sell to, right? So they're attracting people who'd be interested in their services, right? Ashton Hall, right? He helps people go viral on social media, right? At the time of recording this, he may not. Like, I don't know with a lot of these guys because business changes quickly. But at the time of recording this, he has a business where he consults people on how to go viral on social media, right? And obviously, his content goes viral, right? So because his content goes viral, he is going to attract people who want to know how to create viral content. And he's also going to get a bunch of eyeballs, right? Because he's making his content so broad, likelihood is he will find someone who has the need for his service. School of Hard Knocks, right? He attracts entrepreneurs. So what does he do? He interviews entrepreneurs. Iman Gadji, what does he do? He helps people make money online. So what does he make? Content about how to make money online. Simple. Alex Hormozi, he actually is like pretty big brain here, right? The way he makes most of his money is with this company he has called acquisition.com, which is basically he buys companies to then grow them even further. Now, he makes content on how to make a really good business, which in essence allows his viewers to implement that knowledge. So when one day they want to sell that business, they can sell it to him. And then he's buying a business that's a lot better. He's buying a business that is implemented some of the things that he's spoken about, so that when he looks at it, he's like, oh, I recognize all of this. It makes his job a lot easier to obviously turn it around and make a lot more money with it. And I can go on and on and on with people. There's so many people, whether it's fitness, dating coaches, helping people make more money, either as individuals or businesses. Whatever it is, there are coaches making content. There are people making content on TikTok, YouTube, Instagram, everything. And I'm going to show you a little bit more about it in a little bit. So, where do you come in into all of this? So, like I said, these businesses are getting a lot of attention. They do not have the time to actually speak to every single person that's interested in their service because they're getting that many eyeballs, right? So they need help because they need someone who can take sales off their hands so they can focus on other areas of their business. Because like I said, running a business requires so many different things, so many moving parts, but sales is key to keeping this business alive. And typically they outsource it because typically a lot of people aren't good at sales. So they need help so they can keep growing their business. So your job, whether you are a high-ticket closer, whether you are an appointment setter, you talk to leads. You book calls or you take calls and you close deals, right? There's no cold outreach, right? So you're not messaging people who don't know who you are. You're messaging or calling people who know who you are, they know what you sell, and they're interested. You don't have to worry about delivering the service. All you have to do is sell them, right? So you work with the creator, the coach, the influencer, whatever you want to call them. You work with that business, and all you do is sales. As soon as they sign the dotted line, they sign the contract, they send the money, you hand it off to the team that deals the service. You don't have to deal with making any content. You don't have to build a personal brand. All you do is you talk to the people who are interested and we get them to buy, right? And every time someone buys, we earn a commission, which is money. This is how we make money, right? So what are the two roles, right? I mentioned them. The first one is appointment setting. So appointment setting is basically you're talking to leads. Leads is another word for people who are interested in the service, right? So you might be talking with them in the DMs, over text, or you might be calling them, right? There's a few different ways that you communicate with leads depending on the business and how they choose to operate. Again, I will show you a little bit more about that and how to identify that kind of stuff shortly. But basically, you speak with these people who are interested and you qualify them. What does that look like in essence? Well, you make sure that they are someone that you can actually help. So for example, let's say you work for a marketing agency that helps chiropractors make more money, basically. Well, if that's who you help, you're not going to book in a call with a dentist because that's not who you help. Your business helps chiropractors. So you'd ask them, how's the chiropractic business going? They will tell you about it. If they're like, I don't run a chiropractic business, however you say it, then done. You're like, sorry, we don't work with you. Here's the best direction I can point you in, or I can speak with my management and see if we can take you on, etc. That's the first part. The second part of qualifying is financially qualifying them. So obviously, like I said, some of these businesses charge $20,000 and more. So because they charge over $20,000, not everyone can afford what they do. So let's say, again, you're that marketing agency. You help people who have their own chiropractic business make more money. You charge 10 grand, right? Your business that you represent, that you sell for. They sell the service for 10 grand. You are obviously not going to book someone in who makes 2 grand a month with their chiropractic business. They cannot afford it. There is no way in hell they will be able to afford it, right? To double check, you can actually mention the fact that you guys are a 5-figure investment. But at the end of the day, they probably cannot afford it. They can't. So you won't book them in because you don't want to waste the time of the closer. So when you speak with leads, you qualify them. If they are qualified, which means you can help them and they have the money to buy, you book them in for a call with the closer. Now, typically for doing a job like this, you make anywhere between 2 to 5K a month on average, right? That's typically what appointment setters make. The reason for that is because it's a pretty easy job, right? You don't even need a laptop, really. You just need a phone. The barrier to entry to appointment setting is lower than it is for closing because it's less skill required. And for every deal that closes, you earn 5%. So let's say you set an appointment, the appointment closes, that appointment, the closer got a 5K deal closed. So they got 5K wire, come in, you make 5% of that, right? That's typically how appointment setters are paid, 5% commission. So whatever money you bring into the company, whatever meetings you set, if they close, you make 5% of that. So appointment setting is good, obviously, if you want to, get into the industry and know like slowly, but typically you won't get paid that well because it's lower skill. On top of that, what I don't like about appointment setting, having done it myself, is you have like less control over the money you make because you're not in control of whether a deal closes or not. The closer is. So you making money relies on someone else doing a good job. And I don't like that, personally. Now, because of that, sometimes appointment setters actually get a base pay of like $1,000 a month, something like that, on top of 5% commission. But that's not all the time. So, yeah, that's basically it, appointment setting. Then, closing. So, as a closer, all that you do is you have a Google Calendar, right? You have a calendar where you have meetings in your calendar that the appointment setter has put in there for you. And you jump on those calls and you take them, right? Your job is to close that person. It is to turn them from a stranger into a paying client within 30 to 45 minutes. That is a skill, and that is why you get paid a lot of money. Now, commission-wise, typically, closers make 10 to 20%. It, again, varies on the business that you work with. But around 10% is typically industry standard. I've worked roles where I've earned 20% as well. So every deal that you close, you make 10%, let's say. So if you're selling a 10K service, you close a deal, you make 1K. And you can be on 5 to 8 calls every single day. It's really up to you how many calls you take. If you want to take 10 calls a day, you can. If you want to take 5 calls a day, you can. Obviously, the most important thing is, are you closing deals? Are you making the business you represent money? That's what they care about. So you have to obviously be good at what you're doing. So you get paid more because there is more skill required. And on top of that, because of obviously how it works, there's a bit more pressure being a closer, naturally. So you can earn 10 to 20% commission. Typically, this is like the average, 7K to 15K per month. But you can make more, right? Some of my clients, I think the record month for one of them was 23K, I believe, in a month. And a lot of them are doing like 15, 17, 18. Some are doing 12, some are doing 10. But a lot of them are in the upper echelon of this range. And yeah, that's pretty much how the industry works. Now, let me show you an example of kind of this whole system. Let me break it down a little bit more for you. So there's this guy called Jeremy Haynes. Now, earlier I was talking about someone who helps businesses go to $1 million a month. That is what he does, right? This guy is known for helping people go to $1 million a month, right? So he helps other high-ticket businesses, so courses, course creators, coaches, everything, make $1 million in a month. Obviously, if you're working for that sales team, you're making a lot of money. Now, I want to show you, it's quite funny actually, right? So typically you'll go to his website, you'll work, let's say I want to work with you, right? So I want to get started with Megalodon. This is this service that helps you make $1 million a month. This is the financial qualification, right? Is your business currently making more than $200,000 per month? If it's not, so look, if you say no, it's going to end. He doesn't want to work with businesses that are making less than $200,000 a month, right? There's some serious players in this game. He's been in this game for a very long time. If you say yes, then you obviously do it all. So, are you interested in a done-for-you service or consulting? Done for you basically means we do everything, right? It says it here, right? So feel free to pause and read it. So let's say done for you. Let's just put something random, like I'm not going to actually enter this whole information, but these are kind of questions that they're going to ask. And then, as a result of doing this, our consulting services range from 5 to 20K. Is this within your budget? Yes. We typically recommend anywhere from 30 to 50K advertising budget for our first 3 days together. Yes. Put a link to whatever. Okay, whatever. Okay. Oh, God. Can I just put .com? Will that work? Damn. www. Damn. Right, give me a sec. Right. So I got past it. What's your Instagram? Okay. Now, after all of that, right? So he obviously wants to work with people, a specific type of person. That's why he makes it kind of hard to get through the survey, right? There's a lot of friction in there because he only wants people to submit their details who match what he's looking for. So typically, these people, what's going to happen is you're going to fill in your information and you're going to submit. Then you've obviously put your phone number in here. So what's going to happen is, as a result, you are going to get contacted by an appointment setter. They're going to speak with you by calling you. They're going to qualify you, and they're going to try and book you into a call with a closer. So that is an example with this guy, Jeremy Haynes, right? And he, like I said, works with some top guys. He posts content reels to attract his audience, but like he also does YouTube and other social media platforms to attract people for his business. But in essence, that's what would happen, right? You'd fill out that survey, that form, if you were able to, obviously, if you were someone that would want to work with Jeremy Haynes, and then you'd get contacted by an appointment setter. They would book you into a meeting to be sold this guy's services, right? Let's show you another example that's slightly different. So this guy, School of Hard Knocks. You've probably seen this guy's videos, right? It's this dude. He interviews people. Gets a lot of views all over TikTok, all over Instagram, and yeah, he makes a lot of money doing so. Funnily enough, one of our clients actually works with him, and he does very well for himself. I'm not going to talk about the ins and outs of how much he makes because I just don't want to, but he makes a good amount of money doing this, and pretty much I can tell you exactly what his job is. So if you were to go start this free trial, right? So earlier I was talking to you guys about like they use communities as an example. So he's going to get all his attention with content, and then he's going to push it to a community, which is this community. You start your free trial, right? By starting a free trial, they get your email and they will have access to your account. Not access to use it, but like they will be able to reach out to your school account, right? You make an account with school, you join this, then boom, they're going to be able to message you. Now, as a result of showing interest in this program, this community, you will get messaged by an appointment setter. Now, obviously, that appointment setter, they're going to DM you or text you through school, right? And they are then going to qualify you again, right? So I know that this guy sells a service for like 12K. He sells a bunch, but one of the cheapest service, I believe, is 12K. So they qualify you. So I believe they help you make more money. So like they consult you on how to make more money with your business. So they would ask you, okay, how much is your business doing? What business do you have, etc. So they qualify you. and then they're going to send you a link to book in for a call, the closer. And that is really how it works. Now, there are hundreds and thousands of people that do this, that you can work with, that you can sell for, in many, many different industries. Like I said, today's focus was on like the make money stuff. In another day, we're going to be talking about the different industries you could operate and work in. But typically, that's how it works. And these people, like I said, they're not just leveraging Instagram. They're doing YouTube. They're doing Twitter, Instagram, LinkedIn, TikTok, Facebook, whatever it is, right? They're doing all of these different platforms. They need salespeople because they're getting so much attention. They need help converting that attention into money. And obviously, as a result, you get paid. And again, you don't have to do any of the content yourself. All the leads, all the people interested get sent to you, get pushed to you. Usually it's in this thing called like a CRM, which again, we'll talk about in the future another day. But yeah, typically what happens is you get all the information of the people to contact. You contact them, you book them in, and then if you're a closer, then you just sit there, watch your calendar get filled up, and jump on those calls and close people. And yeah, this is the amazing skill that's going to allow you to make a lot of money. So, hope you guys enjoyed day 3. And let's go on to day 4, baby!